Hello everyone, welcome to the fresh episode of Weekend Bytes with me, your host Sujata. Today we have with us the youngest Mr. India ever, classical and exemplary Laksh Dedhia. Laksh was born and brought up in a small town of Delhi. Right from acting to modeling to dancing and writing songs and poems and also art and craft, the model loves it all. Now, Laksh has a special inclination towards animal rights and animal protection and works for the same. He loves playing a lot of instruments too. So let us all welcome Laksh to our show and know him better. Hi Laksh, I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm very good. How are you?
I'm doing great and welcome to our show.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so to start with, let's start with you introducing yourselves to our audience.
Okay, so hi guys, I'm Laksh Dedhia and I'm the youngest Mr. India in the history of India and Mr. Grand International 2018. And I've been a model for the last 4 years and now I've just debuted in Bollywood and my movie is going to be out in the starting of Jan 2022. So yeah.
Okay, that's great and I wish you all the luck for film.
Yeah. Thank you.
Let's talk about your modeling journey. How and when did it begin?
Yeah. So actually I was always inclined towards modeling. From my school days, I used to see newspaper cuttings of various models walking on ramps, Mr. India. I used to imagine how perfect these guys are. I was so inclined towards their personality and perfection they had, and I always wanted to be one. So I think I was always focused towards what and where I had to go, and yeah, that was it. I always had one goal, and that is what I'm fulfilling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving forward, Laksh, hardships are meant to be learned from, and they are a part of life. And you clearly must have had your share of hardships too, and tribulations along your journey. So, what is it that kept you going and to never give up?
Okay, so before getting into this industry, I think the person should know that the rate of failure is much more than rate of success. And it's like you have to struggle every day. You have to have that patience of getting the right job every day. You have to have that patience of not going on the wrong path and just being focused. And I think the main key, I would say, after hard work would be patience.
Okay. So, Laksh, as we all know that hardships are meant to be learned from and they are a part of life. And you clearly must have had your share of hardships and tribulations too along your journey. So, what is that kept you going to never give up?
I think if when a person makes his dream his life, I think nothing can stop him, be it hardship, be it failure, be it anything. The best thing I would say about my career is my career started with a lot of failures, a lot of downfalls, a lot of hardship. So in the initial stage only, I was prepared to face hardship, failures and all. So, when you go through difficult times easily and you learn how to go through them, so nothing can stop you now. So it's very clear. So once you learn how to go through all these hardships and all, it's a very small thing to getting fail or getting rejected or whatever. So it's a pass and parcel of this industry. I would say that it is if you take the ratio between getting selected and getting rejected, any model would say that the rejection thing is much more than getting selection.
Okay, so taking it forward, is there something along your journey as a model which you are most proud of?
Yes, I'm proud of not getting disheartened out of rejection patience and always taking failures as a challenge, and making sure that next time when I enter that place where I got rejected, the other person will see me in a much more respectable way.
Okay. So, moving to the next segment, how does it feel to be the youngest Mr. India ever? I mean, that's a special title, and you're the only one who has that. So, how does it feel to be the youngest Mr. India ever?
Uh, Actually, my aim was very clear. Like every year, you get one Mr. India, but becoming the youngest person to be Mr. India was a legendary thing. I always run behind legendary thing and not something that could be counted among the crowd. So very clearly, it feels very good when you reach at a point where you always dreamt of being. And yeah, that's the feeling of achievement, the feeling of yes, you got it is a very different satisfaction. It's much more than earning money or any other stuff. Like I think when you yourself feel proud of yourself is much more than anything.
Right. Okay. So, do you remember any moment which you could describe as your happiest, like till date, and why is it?
Yeah. Okay, I would consider my signing of the movie when I got selected for the movie as the happiest, because before that, for 1.5 years, I didn't get a single work.
Okay.
So after being patient for 1.5 years and keeping, just keeping working on myself, and believing in myself and believing that next day will be better. And after that, getting such a big thing, like getting into Bollywood is a very difficult thing, very difficult thing, and that too a movie and which will be in theaters and with a very well-known director. So that was the happiest moment, because कहते हैं ना कि sabr ka phal meetha. So I knew why I was kept so patient by God, because God was saying like if I am really you can say layak of that thing or not. So he was just testing me.
Okay. You definitely have your fruits now. All right. So, you were talking to me about your movie. So, tell me something about your movie. Like, what is it, and when is the release date, so that we can set our tickets now.
Okay, that will be really great. But release dates aren't final yet, but probably to be in the first week of Jan. And also, the movie is all about student politics and how, like, in the end, we are so, in India, we all are distributed in such vast categories, this casteism, this, that. And this movie shows that in the end, we all are one.
Right.
Like if we see the other person as a human, we won't see him as per religion, as per caste, as per creed or whatever. So we all are humans. So that is what I can tell you by now. And I'm playing a Kashmiri guy in the movie. So yeah, it was quite difficult to crack that Kashmiri accent and Kashmiri look. But yeah, things happened. And this look, this big curly hair is like given by this movie only. Like I never had these long curly hair. So what happened was I went to the movie set and I had my shot that day actually. Yeah. So I didn't comb my hair or whatever. I just took bath and just walked into the set. And by chance the director said, "Oh, let's shoot with Laksh today." And I had all the curly hair and like scribbled and like that. And yeah, and we shot in that look only. And so for the continuation, I had to keep this look all over the movie. And then I started keeping this look, and this look worked for me. So,
yeah, this is actually suiting you. So that was done for you.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's talk about this pandemic. So as we all know that this was never expected. It was all of a sudden, and all of us were logged into our homes. We were not able to move anywhere outside. But also, if we the other side, then we had a positive aspect that we could work on ourselves and make it look better, and
Exactly.
can get the
Exactly.
better versions of ourselves out. So, what is
Yeah.
the best thing that's happened to you in the pandemic, and how did it help you out?
I think the best thing that happened to me was that I started reading books, and I was never ever like fan of reading books, but I started reading books because of boredom. Like how like I started watching movies. I watched almost whatever I could watch, but in the end, I was like, let's try to read a book, and then I started reading, and I got so involved that I now love reading and also meditating. Like I never tried meditation, but I listened to Sadhguru, and Sadhguru once said that 4:30 is a very powerful time in a day in the morning. So I tried meditating, and the silence and the positivity I got from the day one, and the vibrations I could feel in my body was like I can't really tell you how good they were. So yeah, I started meditating and reading books, and these were like very good. That the best things that could happen.
Okay, yeah, definitely they are. Because in this,
Yeah.
like the work environment that we see today, meditation is very important, and
Yeah.
good that you did it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
moving forward, every person has their own strengths and weaknesses. Like you must have had
Mhm.
yours too. So, what is your greatest strength, and what is your greatest weakness, and how do you overcome it? Like, how do you work to overcome it?
I I wouldn't take much time on this question because the biggest strength is when you know your weaknesses.
Okay.
So you can easily conquer them, and you can be easily unbeatable.
So, is there any weakness that you possess?
Uh, if I think that I have some weakness, I will like degrade or undergrade myself. But no, yes, of course, I'm not perfect, but still, there's always a chance of improvement. So it's not specific, but yeah, it keeps changing.
Okay, so moving forward to the next segment, my next question will be:
Mhm.
what professional goal do you have yourself for yourself now at this point?
At this point, I'm looking forward for doing more movies, for getting more into acting career, and yeah, learning and polishing my acting craft more. Right now, for this, and rest is my little secrets.
Okay, great, great.
Yeah.
And I hope you make a good career into acting. Okay.
Yeah, I never hope, actually, I believe. So when you hope is when you doubt, and believe is when you like you know you will do it.
That's
So
amazing. Yes. So moving forward, as we all know that the career that you are into, it takes a lot of hard work, and for that
yes.
we actually look up to someone. Like all of us have our own inspiration that we look up to, be it from our own field or our own known
Mhm.
ones.
Mhm.
And so you must be having an inspiration of your own. So who is your
Yes.
inspiration and why?
See, I might sound very egoistic or whatever, but I literally am fan of only two people in this world.
Okay.
One is Arijit Singh and one is MS Dhoni.
Okay.
These are the only two people I would ask for selfie. So, what attracts me the most in these people are, even after being super duper successful,
Yeah.
they are so down to earth, so grounded, and like they are never into any controversy. The only thing, like they do their work and then they live their life. They don't mix up their life and their work.
Right.
And I think the what I relate from them is basically even their career started from failures. Yeah, MS Dhoni never got a chance in Indian team for like he got rejected a lot of times. You might have seen in MS Dhoni movie,
Right.
and even Arijit Singh wasn't even in top 7 or top 8. They in a reality show that used to come, Fame Gurukul, very long back. So even after getting rejected, not winning, and such hardships, now they are at the top, and not at the top because their songs are getting hit or they are making Indian team win, but the amount of respect people have for them. And I think, as I said in the beginning, for me, respect is above money. You can always, you can any day get bankrupt, but once you have respect, no one can steal it until and unless you fuck it yourself.
As we all know, every person has their own hobbies and interests outside of their profession. So, what are your hobbies outside of modeling, and what do you do in your free time?
The best thing about my profession is I am professionally pursuing my hobby.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, so the best thing is that, and like in the free time, I mostly watch interviews of actors from Hollywood, Bollywood, Tamil, Malayalam. I try to watch every kind of movie, and I try to observe what is that common thing in so-called people. People call them legend or whatever, like actors and like famous people and celebrities and legendary people. I try to observe them, what's common in them, and what knowledge or what thing I can grab from them apart from looks or whatever. Not see, look and all is a very temporary thing.
Right.
It keeps changing. You can't look great all your life. So what remains is your knowledge and your words. So I try to gain as much as I can from these interviews and everything. So I keep watching interviews and all, and also I play guitar. So I play guitar in my free time. I play with my dog. I have 5 dogs, by the way, in Delhi.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my free time thing.
Okay. So now I want to ask you this question. So if there was anything that you could change about your journey up till now, what would it be and why?
To be honest, this might sound very cliche, but I won't change anything, because anything may be good or bad, whatever happened, this is what made me. And I think if like you learn from your bad things or bad experiences, and I think no book or no one can teach you better than your bad experiences. So I don't think I would change anything.
What will be something that you would like to pass on to the young aspiring models out there? Because as we all know that now the world is more competitive, and there are people who are growing themselves through social media and all of that. So we see that modeling is an ever-growing industry. So there are so many people who are struggling even today. So what will be your inspiration to them to keep going?
Yeah, I think first you need to have a goal, and you need to have a strong goal. Like you need to have, like, no matter if I fail, if I fall, if I anything, I will pursue this only. The main problem among the youngster or whatever you can say is that people don't stick to a goal. Like they try one thing, they fail, they move to another thing, they fail, they move to another thing. Yeah, so until and unless you give your 100% and all of your blood, sweat and everything to one thing, you won't get that thing ever. There's a very good saying by Arnold Schwarzenegger that no matter if you have the best cruise in the world, if you don't know where you need to go, you will just drift around the sea.
Right.
So exactly, I would say that. The second thing I would say is patience. You need to have a lot of patience. Like me, I waited for 1.5 years. For 1.5 years, I didn't get a single work, not even for free. Anyone, like none of the person, like none of the designer or whatever took me even for free. So having that level of patience, like no matter what, tomorrow will be better, and things do get better. It's like a circle. You'll reach on the top, you'll fall, and then again you'll climb and you'll fall. That's a circle of life, and that's a circle of this modeling career. Thirdly, I would say never ever to get on the wrong path. In this field, as everyone knows, there are people who manipulate the newcomers to get into wrong stuff and get the work easy way. by asking favors. I think one should believe in themselves and just become deaf. Just become deaf. Acha, someone is speaking, listen to them, but stick to your roots, stick to who you are, because in the end of the day, you have to look yourself in the mirror.
Right.
So never ever get into all these traps. I'll tell you, if we have time, I would tell you a story what happened with me on this thing.
Sure, sure.
So when I started modeling, I went for a fashion week audition, and even 2-3 new guys were there, and we became friends because we were all freshers. So what happened was we all got rejected. So in the next 2-3 months, what I see is they are working for big designers, and I'm very like surprised, like how come they are like working like that only? I mean, what's wrong? So I got to know some backstory. So I used to think that maybe this is the way to get into all this, but I kept like working on myself. I just kept believing, okay, no matter what, I won't get work, but I won't get into all this. Within 1.5 years, I was doing a fashion week, and the same person was standing beside me doing the same thing, but the journey was different.
Right.
So it's on you, and no one can force you. You can say no, and it is not at all the way to get into all this. You can believe on yourself. You can just keep working. I would say, like, अगर तुम लायक हो, you will get work. अगर तुम लायक नहीं हो, then only someone can ask you for favors. Everyone wants best for their product. So if you are the best, no one can reject you, and no one can keep sharte in front of you. If you do this, you'll get that.
Right.
It's very simple.
That was
and also keep working on your health and your fitness, not only for the profession but also in general health. And see, I don't drink, I don't smoke at all. This is very shocking to a lot of people when I tell them I don't drink or smoke, because nowadays, there used to be a time, I remember, in my late teens, that if someone used to tell me I drink or smoke, and we used to like, oh, you don't drink or like you do drink or smoke, that used to be like, oh my god, he does that. And now is the thing, like, if I say I don't drink or smoke, they are surprised, oh my god, he doesn't drink or smoke. So I think drinking and smoking is always bad for your health and for your career. And it's not just like, if you have to look good, you have to eat good, you have to live good. And I would say, if you have to look different, you have to live different. So health and fitness is very important, and for like nowadays COVID thing.
Yeah.
So I think these are 2-3 things I do tell everyone, and I do like recommend everyone. And also, like, if someone really wants to work on themselves and they are lost and they are like, they want to ask something, they can always reach out to me on Instagram. I do answer everyone if they are genuinely willing to work on themselves. Without any charge, I don't charge anything and whatever. This is because I know at one time I was at their place when I wanted someone to guide me. So I don't want them to just just get on the wrong path or just drift around. If someone is like willing to do it, I'm there to help them.
That's really good of you to help people out there. And now they actually know that they can reach out to you if they need help, and not
definitely.
Okay, so Laksh, that's all, and it was really nice talking to you, and I'm so glad we had you at our show.
Thank you so much.
I got to know a lot many times.
Thank you so much.
The same for you. Like, it was a good.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yes. So
thank you so much.
Yeah. For everyone else, I'll be back next week with another episode of Weekend Bites, and until then, stay safe and stay happy. Thank you.